Let's welcome in our morning guest, Shrikant Shetty from Motilal Oswal is with us, Samit Chavan and Vijay Chopra are also joining us. Shrikant, we spoke extensively about what to expect from Reliance Industries. Now that the numbers are out, what do you make of it?
I think numbers are broadly in line if you look at it. Of course, there is some gains in terms of GRM where it is better than expectation. But other than that, it's broadly in line with expectation. Marginal beat on the profitability is what we see. The good thing is what we hear, what we understand is the capex thing, which will definitely be coming down. There is no delay in the commissioning of the projects which were announced earlier. So there was this delay being announced quarter after quarter on the projects which is stopped. So clearly there will be in FY18 the projects will be done through. So clearly the capex will come down. So that is one positive. The rest, I think we need to see how the Jio thing plays out, and progress on the Jio will be key for the upsides. So I think that's where we currently stand.
Right, but more than the numbers, the focus is on Jio and the capex.
Yeah, the focus will be on Jio and capex because the numbers are more or less in line, as I said, broadly understandable, and it's well noted and understood by the markets. So I think the focus clearly will be on Jio, where there is still uncertainty in the sense there is some expecting in FY19 break even of FY19, 18. We could have various numbers going down, the extent of subscriber numbers which they manage to get through, what is the kind of competitive intensity which will continue, and when it will really be profitable, and the kind of returns which it can get on the kind of investments which is done into the Jio. So that's what will be clear. As of now, we are valuing it at about 11 times. The stock is about 11 times FY19 earnings. So in that sense, it still looks reasonably attractive if you look at compared to other index stocks. Provided how Jio plays out, that will be a risk.
Right, Shrikant, you've always been very bullish on NBFCs, and today we have a lot of NBFC results. So we have LIC Housing Finance, we have M&M Finance, Indiabull Housing will react to its numbers, Canfin Homes will declare. So it's an important day for NBFCs. It's important we get a mix of housing, rural finance, NBFC declaring the numbers, and they are sufficiently big companies to give you a trend in the sector.
Yeah, if you look at some of the early ones which were reported in housing finance especially, I think they've been fairly good. Group Finance was the one to come out. I think Indiabull's housing numbers are pretty good. So clearly there is traction in the affordable housing segment which is visible. There's disbursement growth which we have seen in the last quarter coming through, which is not the case in the earlier quarter. So we have seen pickup happening in the disbursements, overall growth happening, NIMs improving. So all these things are in favor of the NBFCs. So I think it should. I think the numbers which will come through for some of the companies which are pending, which should also be good, especially in the housing finance space or in the rural financing. Maybe in the microfinance is something we need to see how they come through, but the rest of the housing finance pack I think should do reasonably well.
Right, let's talk about Indiabull Housing Finance. So you had NIIs which have come at 1,066 crores, good numbers on a YOY basis. There was a decent growth of 30%, 22% for the NII number. Profit numbers grew by 22%, that's around 837 crores. Again, decently strong numbers. Let's look at what's happening with the different matrix of these companies. So AUM grew by 32%, that's a very strong growth. Pre-provisioning profits, that's the total operating profit, what you would call for NBFCs, went up 16%. Again, that's not a bad number on a YOY basis. Loan growth 21%, very strong. NIMs came in at 4.9%, 4.94 rather, 4.88 is what the consensus estimate was. So there was a 6 basis point higher number. Management has retraced its loan growth outlook. They continue to maintain a 25 to 30% loan growth for FY18. For PAT, their loan growth, their PAT growth estimates is about 20 to 25. Also, they shared their 2020 outlook where they plan to double their entire book. So $2 trillion rupees is what they are looking at, or 2 lakh crores is what they are looking at. 8% is the sort of upgrades that some of the people have done, but they were slightly lower than what some of the others were. Broadly, 3 to 5% is the EPS upgrades that the street has seen. 1,039, this is the pre-open price. 1,009 is where it closed yesterday. So that's one of the names which is expected to do pretty well. Vijay, what are your top picks for the day?
I think cement sector has been kind of laggard in the past few sessions, barring yesterday, and we saw some kind of a decent spurt in the cement counters. And I think that that's going to continue for some time now. I like Grasim, which closed at about 1179 yesterday, and it could be bought for a target of 1200 and a further target of 1250, and a stop loss of 1150 is recommended on the stock. My second recommendation would be JSW Steel. We've seen some spark in the metals counters, and I think that JSW Steel is a kind of an undervalued story, although there's a lot of debt. But I suppose that there is steam left in the counter. So it's closed at 192 rupees yesterday. It could be bought for a target of 210. And a stop loss of 180 is strongly recommended on the stock. My final recommendation would be IB Real Estate. I've been recommending this stock since it was about 90 rupees. I see that this stock would further move up to about 165, 170 odd levels, so it could be bought with a short-term perspective. And a stop loss of 140 is recommended on the stock.
Right. Srikanth, what are your picks?
We like large caps. I think large caps offer more value compared to mid caps today, and I think some of the companies which have reported good numbers include HDFC Bank. I think that's something which I think is interesting from an investment perspective. There is Bharat Forge, which looks interesting from a longer term perspective. So I think these are a couple of names which one can look to invest from a longer term perspective.
Right. Samit, what are your top picks?
See, we have been quite active in most of the PSU banking counters, and now we like Bank of Baroda considering the risk to reward ratio. So we are quite upbeat in the stock. We expect the stock to move towards 191, which would be a near-term target. Stop loss now can be placed around 170.75. Second buy would be on Bajaj Auto. This stock has been consolidating in a narrow range since last few weeks. 2800, 2820 seems to be a very strong support, and yesterday we saw good positive traction in this counter. So clearly the stock is on the verge of giving a breakout, so we anticipate this breakout. We expect the stock to move towards 3030, which would be our target. Stop loss can be placed around 2790. And our third call would be a buy call on Cholamandalam Investment. In last couple of weeks, we have already witnessed a decent rally in the stock. Yesterday, the stock managed to give a decisive breakout from a multiple resistance zone with a substantial rise in volumes. Thus, looking at this price volume activity, we expect the stock to extend this rally. Our immediate target would be on 1165. This can be bought with a stop loss of 105.
Right. Some of the other stocks apart from these two large cap names that we focused would be Biocon. They have results meeting on April 27th, and now they have said that they would be considering bonus issue there as well. It's a sentiment, definitely there should be a sentiment impact. I think this is the pre-open price, 1101, that's 3.8% on the higher side. Rallis, the numbers were slightly below estimates, 31 crores, 32 crores is what the street was estimating, but that's what because of lower tax. The total income was down about 1% or so. It was expected to actually grow marginally. Stride Sasha, they have a plant in Tamil Nadu, which has always been US FDA compliant. There was a surprise check or surprise US FDA visit over there, but they have managed it quite nicely. They have been issued a Form 483 with zero observation, which means the plant is clear. The plant continues to be operating the way it is. Some numbers and some fundraising. So you can see on your screen, the profit numbers came in 23% higher at 2.6 crores within Q4, and the income came in at 40 odd crores. DCB, an important development. They have raised funds or open book to raise funds, so they've not yet announced that the fundraising is complete, but what we can pick up from our sources is that the book has got a good response. 400 crores is what they are looking to raise, and 177 is what the price that they are doing. Assuming they do at 177, their book value post QIP would be about 84-85 rupees, which will start to make it look attractive on a price to book value. Brigade Enterprise, they have a board meet today. They would be considering fundraising over there, so that is also another stock that one has to watch out for. Just seconds away from markets to open, all these mid-cap stocks will also be in focus, and of course the big one will be Reliance, and as Vijay pointed out, cement, the momentum yesterday was very, very strong. Let's see what happens as far as the momentum today is concerned. Just a few seconds away, that's the first tick for you. Aurobindo Pharma flat with a positive bias, BPCL up 4 rupees. Nifty is at an all-time high, 9278. It's hit an all-time high, 9273 was the earlier all-time high. So markets have hit an all-time high. It's an important day today then. what happens to that. Reliance Industries 3% higher, 1460 for Reliance, 4142 rupees higher. Decent set of numbers, and more importantly, the update on capex, the update on what is happening with their various other projects is something probably that the street would have liked. 1459 for Reliance Industries, 4.5 lakh shares already traded. It's always been a great counter. Whenever there is news flow, volumes tend to come in. ONGC up around 0.2% right now. ITC is down about 2 rupees or so. Reliance 6.5 lakh shares traded. Let's look at Indiabulls Housing as well and what's happening over there. So that's up close to about 2% or so, 1030, 1036 for Indiabulls Housing. That's also a results impact, and now that it's a Nifty 50 company, the focus also becomes quite high on this name. Reliance is also up right now. M&M is up about 1.5%. Biocon is up 5% because of a bonus issue or the meat that they are looking 5% higher. It could be also because of numbers expected to be strong. Remember, it's a company which on a YOY basis have been growing pretty strong, so that could be the reason. But right now it's the bonus which they have done, and maybe that is taking it higher. Rallis India, that's the results impact, 4.5% lower. Numbers were slightly lower, but just looking at reports, speaking to analysts, you get a sense that there was a sense on the street that the numbers could be lower than what the street is already anticipating. Strides Sassoon 1.5% higher, so that's slightly on the higher side, 1121. DCB Bank board meet, they have opened their QIP for fundraising, so that's about 45 paisa higher, 78,000 odd shares traded. Brigade Enterprise has a board meet today. Let's see how the stock is doing ahead of the board meet. So it's about 2 to 3 rupees higher. That's about 1,000 shares already traded. Not much in terms of volume. Let's pull up M&M. That's up 1.5%. Credit Suisse has upgraded the stock to an outperformer. Not that they are very well known for auto, but Credit Suisse generally there is a lot of following as far as Credit Suisse research is concerned. So that's up around 1.5 to about 2%. A handful of losers. So Bharti, Airtel and Infosys are the only two meaningful losers that actually I can find in the market right now. IRB Infrastructure Developers, they have a press conference today to brief on their new investment product. That's up around 2.5 to 3% odd. So that's a name which is doing well. Apart from that, JM Financial is up 2.5%, and Indiabulls Ventures continues to look good. It's up about 4.5 to about 5% odd. Not much apart from this which is doing well right now. Dollar Industry, we spoke to the management 2 days back when it got listed on NSE. There were a couple of block deals as well yesterday. That's up around 5% right now. So that name is also doing pretty well. Reliance is back. It's up about 2.5%. So after an initial pop-up of about 3%, there was a decline, but I think now it's getting stabilized around the 1,454 mark. That's looking good. Crompton Greaves Consumer has an upgrade coming in from Citi. Upgrade in the sense a target price upgrade. They were already positive, but they've upgraded their target price. It's up close to about 2% right now. Sushil Choksi is also now joining us in the discussion. Sushil, 1454, what will be your call on Reliance post these numbers?
Good morning, Pankaj. Thanks for having me on the show. I think result is pretty stable, but we need to keep in mind that enterprise value of Reliance has touched 6 lakh crores roughly on today's market cap where the price is. And more importantly, the stock is up roughly 35% in the current 2017 calendar year. I'm optimistic if we have patience for 9 to 18 months to see the entire rollout of all the core projects between petrochemical various segments and the Geo launch, which would indicate the true reflection of potential only in the Q3 and 4. First half will be more of a rollout strategy, customer base, what kind of usage and application, what's the user experience. So keeping all that in mind, stock has still potential over a period of 9 to 18 months of a 25 to 30% gain. I've been stating in various interaction with you that come December quarter we can see another 20% gain from here, and maybe in 18 months we see a price of 30%, 35% higher from here. That's at 2000.
Right, but for the near term you think the rally is done?
I think I would, if you're a trader, then it's a different ball game. But if you're an investor, I would stay invested. But I would take a little breather here if I have to invest fresh money. Look at the markets when the markets have a little correction. There are a lot of noises on the global basis. So we need to watch out and then take a call at an opportune time to invest for next 18 months at least minimum to have earning growth. Because the momentum of 35% for Reliance is a huge one, and I think there will be a healthy churn between some domestic insurance companies selling and some other FIs which have made quick money to sell, and retail would be staying invested.
Right. You track Bharat Forge very closely. Yesterday there was an analyst meet, or rather over the weekend there was an analyst meet, and after that the stock is up 5%. Most of the analysts point out that their new facility or their new R&D capability that they have is pretty strong versus even some of the global peers. Was that one of the reasons why you liked, or now you like it more after those details have come out?
I think they've been highlighting over a period of last 2-3 quarters that Bharat Forge is truly getting diversified only from auto to railways to power, various other segments including defense, airline and various other things. So the capability of manufacturing was always known to people who knew the management over the years. Analysts have picked up because they've demonstrated physically by holding an investor conference and giving out details. So NDTV viewers and our interaction in last few quarters, we've already maintained that it's a stock if we look at next 2 to 3 year horizon, and the US numbers have definitely given a fill up in last 3 months because from Jan the sales have been looking up. I think it's a stock to stay invested, and I think a weakness in the market would be a great opportunity to buy.
Right. Srikanth, what do you make of the recent cement rally? Names like ACC, Ultratech was up 4% yesterday.
Well, we've seen cement prices move up, in some regions. So I think that's where this rally essentially began, and there's expectation also that there will be some pickup in the infrastructure, road, housing activity. So clearly there will be demand pickup going ahead. So cement is basically a play on essentially infrastructure and real estate. So clearly that's where the participation is coming through. The valuations have become reasonable for most of the large players. As a sector, the sector-wise, it does look good from an investment perspective, but in terms of valuation, the room for immediate upsides among the large caps look a bit limited.
Right. So just stay away, even though the rally has happened.
We participate from a trade perspective, but not really. I mean, as a medium to long-term investor, you want to stay invested in Grassims and Ultratechs. I think these are good stocks to stay invested. But within that, as I said, the upside from immediate perspective probably looks a bit limited, though there is the news flow wise, it will continue to be positive in terms of price increase, demand increases. That could be positive from a trading perspective.
Right. Samit, there is an upgrade which is coming from Credit Suisse on M&M. The stock is up 1.92 or close to 2%. What is your call on M&M? Looking at the charts, do you think it can, make that underperformance count versus Maruti or any other large cap auto name?
Yeah, clearly in last 1.5 months, the stock has done nothing. It's been consolidating in a narrow range. However, looking at the daily chart, it seems that 1260, 1250 is a very strong support, and this on very the stock has been proving this support, a very strong support, at least in the near term. So clearly, as far as near term direction is concerned, the stock has been maintaining its consolidation phase since last 3 to 4 weeks. Looking at the overall chart structure, 1300, 1305 is the level to watch out for. Once the stock surpasses this level, we could see buying interest coming into this stock. In that case, you could see a good rally towards 1350, 1360. So as of now, we expect this consolidation to continue, wherein the range would be slightly narrow. 1300, 1305 would be a strong resistance, and lower side we see buying coming in at lower levels somewhere around 1250, 1260.
Right. In terms of Indiabull Housing, what will be your call on the charts?
See, clearly there has been no stopping for the stock since last 3-4 months. The stock was trading somewhere around 630, 650, and now it has surpassed 1000 mark. So trend-wise, the trend remains quite strong. It's been maintaining its higher bottom formation, but fresh buying at current level is not advisable, since the stock is now entering its strong resistance zone, at least in the near term, which is around 1040 to 1060. So we would advise traders to book their profits at least partially once the stock approaches this strong resistance, and once you get a decent dip towards say 960, 950, that becomes a good buying opportunity.
Right. In terms of some of the other large cap or mid cap movers right now. So IRB Infrastructure is doing well, and you have Shriram Transport, which has picked up. M&M Finance declares numbers. It's slightly on the weaker side, and LIC Housing is also looking flat. That's IRB for you. It's up 4% right now. Shriram Transport has gone up in the last few minutes or so. LIC Housing is flat, and M&M Finance that also M&M Mahindra and Mahindra Finance that declares numbers. It's down by about ₹1 or so ahead of numbers. Bharat Financial or SKS was one of the gainers yesterday. It's up another 1% right now. So that's picking up steam, and some of the real estate names which were buzzing in the last few days continue to do so. So DLF is among the top 20 gainers in the mid-cap space. Piramal Enterprise, which is not exactly a real estate company, but they have a lot of real estate investments, so that's also doing pretty well. So these names continue to do well. Sushil, what's your call on real estate pack? Do you think that the worst is over and things may only look better now?
I think, Pankaj, we need to have a little closer scrutiny each company wise. So the names DLF has done well because after the InvIT and REIT structure which SEBI has cleared, people have been able to visualize that DLF will be able to monetize the rental income, and the balance sheet would get cleaner and leaner where debt was concerned, and the true potential of DLF, which has gone on more a consolidation phase in last 5-7 years post listing and arriving in Bombay, and they retract back. So I think a time to stay invested in DLF would be right. I think marquee names where property as a developer is always accepted. So Godrej, Shobha, reputation will count because RERA is in place from 1st of May in majority of the states. So people who have ample liquidity in terms of managing projects at the same time have land bank will be able to execute well. Otherwise, it will be a difficult challenge. So if you are an investor in a B and a C category stock from a management perspective, I would recommend that people shift from those to A category stocks. The A category means quality of the management wise.
So one has to be very selective.
Very, very selective.
Right. What will be your call on auto company like M&M? It's up around 2% right now. There's an upgrade from Credit Suisse. You think that it will play the catch-up role or the underperformance that it has shown versus auto index? Will it actually play a catch-up to that?
I think looking at last 2 years performance, they've underperformed the market, and possibility post this consolidation and some improvement and betterment which they are likely to showcase over a period of 12 months. Stock may have a little outperformance compared to some other outperforming auto stocks.
Right. Shrikant, what will be your call on IRB Infrastructure? So they have a meet today, even as Sushil was pointing out about the new infrastructure products that are going to be launched by IRB. You think that can, change the interest outgo for the company meaningfully? That's what market is trying to price it?
I believe so. See, let me initially say that we are not covering the stock, so we don't have much risk coverage here. But from a broad understanding perspective, clearly any such steps, where you reduce your debt on the books by, having of some of the assets, which will be incrementally positive. They'll be able to take on more projects on hand. That's what essentially this will do. And value unlocking of the existing projects, that's essentially will be positive for the stock. And this also is a stock which has not done much over the last few months or years, and I think there is scope for big gains in the infra space, and if there are some projects coming through, then there could be upsides here.
Right. Vijay, what would be your call on IRB, especially considering they are looking at new products to raise funds, which are likely to be much cheaper?
Well, I suppose that the entire infrastructure play is very, very good. Quality companies should grow. And companies which have capability of executing good projects. So IRB is one of those companies which I like. My medium-term target for the stock is about 300. Another stock I would like to recommend is HCC, which is also about 4% up today. So infrastructure play I like with a medium to long-term perspective, and I think that quality companies should do well, including IRB, and of course if they are able to raise capital and come in with new products, and they keep on working on their execution capabilities, I'm sure that there's a lot to look forward to in this counter. So 300 would be a target for IRB. So I think that there is steam left.
Right. Sushil, any view on Biocon? It's up 5.7% on an announcement that they are looking for bonus. Any view on Biocon?
I think smart investors have invested over a period of last 1 year. I don't have any specific take on the company, but I think post last 3-4 years of lot of invention and lot of synergies, putting core strength together, I think stock is showing a good performance. And between the pharma and this space, I think people have shifted from pharma to Biocon more for the capabilities which they have demonstrated over a period of time.
Right, volumes today are pretty high, as Sushil was speaking. So the volumes right now are 2.47, 2.5 lakh shares versus just about 17,000 that it does in 15 minutes. So there is buying and buying led by volumes. Samit, what are the charts of Biocon indicating? 27th is an event, so they have a board meet for bonus as well as results. Markets is market pricing in a very bullish scenario going into that?
See, in last 10-12 months, we've already seen a relentless rally in the stock. The stock has rallied from the levels of 500, 550. Now, if we look at the overall price activity in last 3-4 weeks, the stock has clearly slipped into a consolidation mode, wherein on the higher side, 1160, 1170 seems to be a near-term hurdle, and on the lower side, 1050 remains to be a very strong support. So, we would expect some time-wise correction in the stock, wherein the range would be slightly broader. We would have a range of at least 100-120 points at least in the near term.
Right, but what will be the call, or ahead of such an event one should not do anything much?
Yes, fresh buying at current level is certainly not advisable considering the risk to reward ratio. So those who have bought it at lower level, they should book out their partial profits somewhere around 1150, 1160 mark. And as I said, fresh buying is not advisable, and one can keep an eye trailing stop loss somewhere around 1050, which has become a very strong base.
Right. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for taking out time for us. Sushil, just request you to hold on. But before we go, Shrikant, any disclosures?
No personal holdings, any of the stocks to discuss, but yeah, our clients may be holding on.
Vijay, disclosures for you?
No personal holdings of any of the stocks talked about today. Our customers must be having these stocks.
Samit, disclosures?
I don't have any personal holdings in the discussed stocks, but our clients might be having positions.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, for taking out time for us. Sushil, just request you to stay on. We're taking a break. We're coming back in 2 minutes. I want to discuss some more stocks on the other side of this break.